Hi, friends. All right, y'all. So I am back today and want to give y'all some more information um, about the DR and this whole move thing. Um, I also want to clarify my video from yesterday. Um, If you follow me on Facebook, you've been seeing my constant posts and me sharing different things, my different feelings and my excitement about being here, what I love about being here. Um, I really haven't shared all of that on YouTube. YouTube is not like a very dynamic thing for me. Facebook is more dynamic. I don't post on YouTube all day every day. So yesterday I posted a video talking about uh, some of the things that I have to, some of the adjustments that I have to make living here. And if that's all that you've seen me, say about DR, then maybe you could kind of take that the wrong way. But for those that follow me on that are my Facebook friends, y'all know, see that I've been telling both sides of it, the good and the bad. And I'm always going to do that. That's just what I do. That's what I'm known for, keeping it real. I'm not trying to sell DR, so I'm not going to draw flowers around all my words and make it seem like this is just the perfect place on earth. Um, there is no perfect place on earth except maybe Hawaii. If you know me personally, you know where that come from. But yeah, so if all you saw was what I posted yesterday, then you probably got the wrong idea about the message that I'm sending. Um, what I mentioned yesterday was, and I think I only mentioned like four things that I have to adjust to, which was not having proper ventilation in this home, because that's just how they build houses here. They don't build them to the same building code as they do in the U.S. The infrastructure is completely different. It's a developing country, so the infrastructure is not, there yet. But there are some talks about, trying to improve it as they see the country is growing. Um, so that was two things, and then the other thing was Amazon. We don't have next day or 2 day delivery here like we do, in the U.S. It's a process to get Amazon packages here, and it takes a bit longer, like a week or so. And I explained, how to navigate through that in my last video. What was the other thing? Central air. There is no central air. That's not a thing here. It's just portable AC units, and it can cause your electricity bill to be really high because those are expensive to run, and the electricity is expensive here. It's not cheap. So those were a few of the things that I mentioned, and that's not even an all-inclusive list. There's more. But yesterday was just a real short video, just quick update, some of the things that stood out the most. It wasn't a complete list of everything that you have to adjust to. There's more, but just because I mentioned things that I would have to adjust to if I decided to live here doesn't make it bad. So that wasn't me bashing the country or saying this is terrible, these things are terrible. That's just letting people know, because a lot of people that I'm in contact with are curious. They're very, intrigued by living abroad. So, Angelique gonna always keep it real and give you the good with the bad. Okay. I'm not trying to sell you DR. I'm just sharing you my experiences, both sides of it. And prior to me coming here, um, I watched a lot of YouTube for months. I think I started in like January. And actually, DR wasn't even my first choice. I was looking into other places. And the more I, looked into things, it kind of swayed me in another direction. And I have my reasons. Everybody's going to have their different reasons. It just depends on what you're looking for, what you're trying to get out of life, what you're trying to get out of your move. Um, You're going to be looking for, different things. So I found that what I was looking for was more here than in some of the other places I was looking into. Um, I this was also the place where I made the most connections like quickly before even getting here. So that I was really happy about that. I like that. I wasn't getting that in some of the other places I was looking into. Um, so yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that if all you saw was the video I posted yesterday, that's not the message I'm sending. That's not the whole message that I'm sending about DR. There's so much more to know. There's so much more that I shared. It's just not on YouTube. I shared it with my friends on Facebook. So anyway, now that we got that out the way, um, deciding to whether I want to stay here or not is gonna take some time. I haven't even been here a week yet. Tomorrow will be a week, and it's gonna take me some time to decide if I want to make those adjustments because I'm here on my own free will. Uh, all of the moves I made, for y'all that don't know, I was in the military for 18 years. So I moved a lot every 2 to 3 years. I was moving. So I've lived in a bunch of different places. I've lived overseas before. I've lived in other countries. I'm half Panamanian, so I spent a lot of time in Panama. I have family there. My mom is from there. So I'm not, this is not my first rodeo. Okay. So I'll say that. Um, I've seen this type of living before. I'm not culture shocked. I'm just sharing with other people that may not have experienced this type of lifestyle what to expect. So I've been in contact with a lot of people that are considering moving out of country. And, it's always just a thought, just a thought. I've been thinking about doing this. I want to do it. I want to do it. But some people just don't know where to start, don't know how to choose a place, don't know what's the first step to take. How to, be motivated to do it, be inspired to do it. So, um, for the people that find me, that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing my experience with you all. My experience may not be the same as the next person. Um, my opinions may not be the same as the next person, So I'm sharing from my perspective. Um, I a little bit of my history. I served 18 years, and I'm from Miami, Florida. Let's start there. So I have a lot of Dominican friends. Grew up with a lot of Dominicans. Miami is a huge melting pot. So I'm not, you know, um, fresh to the Dominican culture. Um, so yeah, grew up in Miami, Florida. Went to school there all my life. Um, Graduated 2 weeks later. I was gone. Went to the military, and I moved around a lot. I stayed in for 18 years, and I moved a lot. And I've lived in many different places, many different environments. I some places was my choice, some places weren't, but I had to adjust. I had to adapt. So if it's one thing you military people know how to do is how to adjust and how to adapt, because we were always put in positions where you know we had to adapt. So that's one thing that I've mastered. uh, so this should be the easiest thing for my military folks to do: make another move. And what makes it even better is that it's on your what's the word I'm looking for? It's your decision where you go, when you go. In the military, they tell us when to go and where to go. When you out, you got that DD 214. It's your decision where you want to go, how long you want to be there. Um, but yeah, we have that experience with moving around and living in different places and having to adjust and adapt. So that's nothing new for a person that was not in the military or don't have, experience with moving around a lot and living in different environments, it may take them a lot longer to, adjust to new environments. Um, but for us, especially, those that stayed in and did a long time, moved around a lot, um, it's not it doesn't take us that long. And especially not being in anymore, it's our choice if we want to adapt. It's my choice if I want to, completely change my lifestyle from what I have back in Texas to, living the island life again. And I say again because one of the places I was stationed was in Hawaii. I've lived the island life before. It's not my first rodeo. Um, of course, Hawaii is not the same as here because this is a developing country. Hawaii is, much more developed than here. It is a part of the U.S., so there are some differences. So, but I love the island life. I love paradise. I love living in paradise. Hawaii was like the best 3 years of my life, the best. Um, of course, Hawaii was one of my choices when I decided that I wanted to move abroad. Um, it's not really abroad, but it's still different from living on the mainland. But yeah, Hawaii was definitely my first choice to go back. But as I started looking into rent, girl, oof, let me tell you, $2,500 for a studio apartment. This move for me is about relaxing because I work so hard and so much in the U.S. Um, in Texas, and I don't want to anymore. Yeah, I'm 40 years old. I've been working since I was 13. So this is considered a pre-trial of early retirement for me. So yeah, so I don't want to have to work to live somewhere, and I would have to work to live in Hawaii. Um, to be self-sustainable, and that's that. Even though I love Hawaii, that just wasn't my goal, so I had to scratch Hawaii, and I looked into a few other places. Um, so with that being said, it's gonna be a huge adjustment. Like I said, I always want to give the good with the bad, so I'm gonna be honest and give y'all my honest assessment of what it's like living here. And just so you whoever's watching, don't come here and just be totally shocked and surprised at some of the things that they have to adjust to, because there's so many content creators online, especially here in the DR now, that only want to show you or share with you all the fun things to do here, but every day is not a fun day living here, right? There's things that you're gonna have to get used to, and I named only four of those things yesterday, just four. There's a whole lot longer list than just those items that I mentioned, but yesterday was just a short little snippet right before I walked out the door to go to the beach. That was not an in-depth um, um, video. That was just sharing just a few things that I've been experiencing since I've been here. Um, but the list is a whole lot longer. Again, that doesn't make any of these things bad, they're just different. You have to decide whether you want to make those adjustments. I have to decide whether I want to make those adjustments, and it's my choice what I want to do with my life. Um, yeah. So another day I'm going to share more. I'm gonna have to make a list. I'm really because I can't do that off the top of my head. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But again, as long as that list is, it doesn't make it a horrible place to be here. There's so many positives. So you have to decide on your own whether the positives outweigh the negatives. That's an individual choice. That's an individual decision to make. Um, but I'll tell you one thing. After like I said, I recorded that video right before I went to the beach. uh, Moto was going by. But yeah, yesterday was our first official beach day. So I recorded that, went to the beach, and when I got there, I sat down at the restaurant and was looking out and was like, wow, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. So, um, yeah, that just made it all worth it. And that can kind of helps push me into the direction of accepting those adjustments. So, like I said, I'm here on my own free will. I'm not here because any job or any military or anybody is making me be here. I came on my own free will. So I can also leave on my own free will if I feel like, I don't want to make those adjustments. I want to go back to my comfortable life in my big beautiful home in Houston. Um it's my decision. So, and I'm going to take, if it takes me a month or if it takes me the whole 4 months, I'll do things on my own terms. Um Joy about being single. Get to make my own moves when I want to. Um, but yeah, so like I said, it's all about me just keeping it real with y'all and sharing the good with the bad and outweighing the pros and the cons. For some people, the cons, I mean the pros outweigh the cons for them, and they're happy to call this home. That's their experience. I'll have to figure it out for myself. I've only been here for a week. Um, but because I know, because I've lived in so many different places and had to adapt to so many different environments, I'm sure that, I can make the right decision for myself in a timely manner. It may not take me the whole 4 months to make that decision. Now, to say whether I'm going to fully adapt to everything in those 4 months, I don't know. But what I do know is that I'll be able to decide whether I want to or not, probably within the next 30 days. Um, so that's me. We're all different. We come from different backgrounds. We all have we run at different paces in life. So for some people, it may take them 3 months. Some people may take them 3 years. So, it's every man for themselves. But I'm going to share with y'all a couple of things that helped me decide to make the move. And then I'm going to share with you uh, what helped me actually do it, like financially. Um, so, what helped me make the decision initially, I will say YouTube. And that's why I'm taking the time to record these videos and share this information with y'all, because there's some content creators that helped me, and I'm gonna pay it forward and help the next person. Um, and when I say help, I mean like inspire, motivate, inform, and that's what I got from YouTube, and so that's what I'm hoping to share with you all. Now, again, my experience may not be yours. I'm going to share facts. I'm also going to share my opinions on some things. The facts won't change. So, those few things that I mentioned yesterday, those are facts. Those aren't going to change. I do have some opinions about some things, and that's personal. That's, my personal opinion. So your experience with those things can be completely different. So yeah, YouTube helped me a lot, helped inspire me a lot. A couple of creators that I watch, and I'll tag them down below because they may help you too. Um, Facebook groups help me a lot. So wherever you're considering going, find an expat Facebook groups for those places, for those countries. They're out there, trust me, because everywhere that I was considering, I had joined all of the Facebook groups. And just watching how they engage helped me eliminate some places. And then watching how others engage, especially here, helped me, um, start prioritizing my list of places to go, and I ultimately decided on DR. So the Facebook groups do help. Now there's going to be a bunch of bullshit, and in any Facebook group you join, you could join group about ants. It's gonna be bullshit. But that's up to you to be, mature and decipher through all the BS and just take from it what you need. And it helps. It helps. Facebook groups, YouTube. Another thing that helped me make the decision, I had a conversation. So, I was really trying to be private about it in the beginning. So people don't even know how long I had been, um, you know, looking into doing this because I kept it private to myself for a while. But once I finally started opening up about it, it was like, wow, so many people came at me and I got so much positive feedback. Like people was just so happy for me. Um, I think I've only had like two people come at me kind of sideways about my decision, especially when I decided on DR. Um, but yeah, other than those two, it was one person was, mentioned something about, oh, how they doing the Haitians and why would you choose DR? When you work for your own money, you do what the fuck you want to do with your money. Okay. Nobody can Nobody should try to, deter you from doing what you want to do with what you worked hard for. It's your life, it's your money, it's your body, your mind, your decisions. So, but other than them two, I had so much support, so much positive feedback. Um, but yeah, having that one conversation when I opened up and had this conversation, and it's a guy that I went to school with since middle school. He's from DR, and he lives here part time. His wife and kids live here. And when he saw that I was coming here, oh, we had to jump on a phone call. And well, actually, no, yeah, I had already decided DR. We jumped on a phone call. I just didn't know when yet. That's what it was. I didn't have a date yet. So we jumped on a phone call. We had a good conversation, and he did the same thing. He kept it real with me too. Told me the good and the bad. So that's what I like. Like don't don't bullshit me. So he kept it real. And after having that conversation with him, that's when I booked my flight because I was just so stuck on trying to get things in line and trying to pay bills. I'll try to pay some debt down and do this and get all these things in order before I book my flight. That don't work. All the stars are not going to align for everything you want to do in life. You'll live with regret if you be trying to wait until all the stars align to do every single thing in life. So all the stars were not aligned. But I had that conversation with him. I booked my flight and I felt so good. I didn't feel as much pressure. I felt some relief. I felt a sense of relief because I had finally got that out the way. That was a huge step to book that flight. And I talk about my dogs all the time. So y'all know that that was a whole mess of its own, a whole learning process, I should say. But I finally booked our flight and um, trying to let the motorcycle go by. But yeah, so I booked that flight and I'm going to tell you this. Once I booked that flight, that's when shit got real. That's when everything started falling into place. So what I was waiting on before booking my flight, it literally started happening after I booked my flight. Everything started falling into place. Um, so that's what helped me. The Facebook groups, YouTube, and just booking the flight. Now I'm a single woman. I have a daughter. I got two dogs and a cat. If I made this move, a lot of y'all can too. My daughter is 16. She's a junior in high school and she's here. She's here with me. So stop using the kids as an excuse. That's what online school is for. And she applied once we decided that this is what we wanted to do. Um, she applied for the number one online school in the state of Texas. She was accepted. We had the interview with the counselor and interview first, and then she was accepted. But the counselor asked, of course, why were we interested in virtual learning, and we explained to her because we're going to be testing out living abroad, so I want her to be able to travel with me. And oh, she was just ecstatic. She was like, this is why we do this, because we don't want to rob the kids a chance of exploring the world. Like, that's the best education form of education the kids can have is real life experience. So she was just ecstatic about our plan. So now it's been doing very well. She's been doing really, really good with her online school. Before we even left, she had worked all the way up to November. She was so far ahead, and there's just so much flexibility with this online school. I'm going to do a whole nother video just talking about virtual school on its own. I don't want to get too deep here in this one. But I'll share the school information with y'all on another video. But yeah, she's doing amazing. She's doing really, really good. And kids being in school, not an excuse. So yeah, so putting her in school online, that helped us get here. The YouTube, the Facebook groups. Now financially, some of the things that I had to consider financially to get here was some of the things that I did, I should say. I wrote them down so I don't forget. But the first thing, so I'm a realtor full time. I've been doing real estate for 8 years, but I also had an event planning business. So I decided to close the business, like just abruptly decided to close it so that I can make this move. Closed the business, sold it. I had a storage unit, and it was, I had all of my, but not all, because I had some stuff stored at my house too, but I had the majority of my inventory was in my storage unit. And so when I decided that I was gonna dissolve the business, I sold. Hold on, Keno, no. He always tearing up them plants. But yeah, so I decided to sell my business. So that was one thing that I did. Sold my business, sold all of my inventory that I had in storage, just so that I won't have to pay that rent anymore. Sold my business, sold my inventory. I had 3 cars. I sold the oldest car. Was almost paid off, but I sold that car, and so that eliminated that car note and the insurance. So that's a few $100 right there. And then for my 2 SUVs, I decided to contact State Farm, and I asked them, hey, listen, I'm going out of country for a few months. Cars are going to be stored in garage. Nobody's going to be driving them. What can we do about my policy? So they bumped me down and gave me a policy called a garage and storage policy, meaning that the car will be stored, not driven. So it poses no risk, it's subject to no risk. So that drastically decreased my premium for the 2 SUVs. So a few more hundreds of savings right there. That was a huge chunk of savings. So be sure to do that. Call your auto insurance. If you don't want to get rid of everything because this is not a permanent move for you yet, there's some things you can do to, minimize your expenses back home until you decide to make your permanent move and then you get rid of everything. So that helped. Not cable, I don't have cable. My internet bill with Xfinity. Called them and told them the same thing. Hey, I'm going to be gone. I think I got like their highest plan because of all the devices that I have running in my house. Security system cameras and all of that. My home office, everything. I think I had their highest plan. So I told them, hey, I'm going to be gone for a few months. We can downgrade my plan because I'm not going to be running as many devices on the Wi-Fi, just my security system. So that was another huge savings. I think my bill was with some discounts that I have, my bill was like $110 a month, and it's now at $45 a month. So there's some more savings. So that's what you got to do. Just look at what you can fix. I think some people just don't realize that there are things that you can change to help you save money. You know, everything don't have to stay the same. Start looking at what you can control. Start looking at what you can change to help you live a different life. What else? Sold my car, minimized my insurance, cable, VA disability. That's a big one. I'm gonna say two things about this. For those of you that are military vets and you're not getting disability, holler at me, because what I'm gonna tell you is about to change your life. For those of you that are receiving your benefits already, you're probably not maximizing it. So if this is something that you want to do, you want to live abroad, even if it's not in DR, let's talk. You know, let's talk. You may just need a push in the right direction, some motivation. I've already had friends sending me places like, what you think about Belize? You know, in different places. So, and I love having those conversations. So, but I don't want to do it like 200 different times. So that's why being open and honest and sharing everything here. I hope whoever needs to see this sees it. So anyway, those are some of the steps that I took to help me get here. Being in the military, moving around so much, already having the experience, living in different environments, living in different places outside of the U.S., and even in my personal life, with my mom being Panamanian, we know how to adapt. That's just what we do. I think we master that, being in the military and moving around as much as we do. Even with jobs, you know, the different positions that we're put in. Some positions were our choice and others weren't. Either way, we had to adapt. So use that skill. That's a skill that you want to use in your everyday life. That's one skill that's going to help you make this move. So, hey, no, Sasha. So, those are the things that help me. Those are the things that help me move financially and mentally. Being by the beach was one of my hugest goals with getting here, living on an island. The beach is a huge part of my life. Being from Miami, Florida, the beach was life, you know. In the military, I was stationed. Just about everywhere I was stationed, I was always near the water. So it just does something for me, for my mental health, everything. Like if I'm just so stressed out, frustrated, feel like my pressure is up, if I go to the beach, I don't even swim. Like, I'm 40, I'm not a child, I don't really swim anymore, but I do get in the water. I do like to lay out. I could just lay out for 8 hours and I could feel all my pressure coming down. Stops. I can feel it. So, you know, being near the water, being near the beach was something that I needed. If I'm talking about retirement, it's got to be by water. Houston, I'm gonna tell you, I love Houston. I love my home there. Those that know me personally, I built a big house there, 10,000 square foot lot, 3,000 square foot house. Built that house there a couple years ago. Love my house, love it. You can have all the riches in the world, but it doesn't guarantee your happiness. You know, so people will look at my house and be like, girl, what you doing with your house? You getting rid of it? You selling it? How could you leave that house? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, so I can't even really enjoy it because I have to work so hard to keep it up. And because I run all of my businesses from home, I look at my house like a place of work. So, and it's so big, like, and it's just me and my daughter. So it's like, it's a lot to maintain. That's what I would say. It's a lot to maintain. And I decided that when I leave, I'm downsizing. And that's what I did here. This house here, this villa here is half the size of what I have. The yard is a very small fraction of what I have back home. But I feel a sense of relief I don't have as much responsibility here, so I get more time to rest. I'm not always cleaning. And then even when I do hire cleaners back home, it's expensive. I can't do that every week. It's like $250 to $300. I can't do that every week. So I had to spend time cleaning it myself sometimes, and it's just a lot to maintain a house that big, a yard that big by myself. So that's what I wanted to do here. My goal here was to be by the water, downsize to a much smaller home, and just live a slower, more simple life. Slower pace, you know, more simple. Here, I don't even have a car. I got 2 cars at home. I had 3, sold at 4 right before I left. But I don't even have a car here, and I don't want one. I don't even want to drive here, because if you know anything about driving in Houston, it's stressful, and everything is so far apart. It's a lot of driving. Doing real estate, I mean, I was selling houses an hour and 20 minutes away from me, so I did so much driving. And so coming here, one of my goals was, I don't want to drive. I don't. And I've been sticking to that so far. Paying a driver here is very inexpensive, so it's easy to do that without spending a month paying a driver. Based on what I've, you know, at the rate that I've been going for this past week, will be nowhere near what it would cost to own a car. Because you can't say excuse me, Keno. I don't want to have to worry about oil change, tire rotations, balance, mechanic. I don't want to have to worry about maintaining a car. So when I tell y'all more simple life, that's what I'm here for. Sasha, no. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, just less responsibility, weight lifted off my shoulders, and those are the goals that I set for myself. So when you decide to leave, you have to set goals for yourself. Some people just get up and do stuff, you know, without any type of planning, goal setting, any of that. I can't operate like that. I had some specific goals in mind, and I wasn't to turn away from that. And so far, I've hit every one. Now there's still a few more that I have to, a few more goals that I have to meet. But so far, I'm proud of myself. I haven't driven. I'm by the beach. I live 15 minutes from the beach, and it's a $4 Uber ride to the beach. So yeah, I'm gonna be spending some time out there. I got the smaller house that I wanted, the smaller yard, less you know, maintenance. And overall, I'm just happy with how things are going so far. So again, if you saw what I posted yesterday, please don't think that's my, you know, entire assessment of being here. It's not. My friends on Facebook, they know. They know both sides of it. So I'm gonna continue to share the good and bad, and just keep it real with y'all. So that's all I have for now. I know this was kind of long because this was long overdue, so I had to touch a few points in this one sitting. I don't know when I'm gonna do the next one, but I hope y'all found this information helpful, and see y'all next time. Bye.